Together with Fahad Abbasi. Hello, Pakistan.
राइट अस्सलाम वालेकुम गुड इवनिंग शाम बखैर पाकिस्तान आप सुन रहे पावर रेडियो एफएम 99 इस्लामाबाद स्टूडियो से मैं हूं आरजे फहाद अब्बासी कैसे हैं आप ठीक ठाक इट्स अ फिट एंड फैबुलस थर्सडे इवनिंग 24th ऑफ फरवरी 2022 दफ्तर से हो चुकी छुट्टी घरों की तरफ है रवां दवां थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ट्यूनिंग इन आज तो मजे की बात है इट इज अ डबल ट्रीट 24th ऑफ फरवरी ना सिर्फ मैं रेडियो पर लाइव हूं लेकिन आज हम फेसबुक पर भी लाइव हैं यस बिल्कुल जनाब सो इस वक्त मैं फेसबुक पे भी लाइव हूं सो व्हाई डोंट यू हेड ऑन टुवर्ड्स आवर फेसबुक पेज www.facebook.com/power radio fm99 इस्लामाबाद पे आ जाइए और जल्दी जल्दी हमें भी देखिए और हमारे प्रोग्राम से भी लुत्फानंदोज हुई जनाब पावर रेडियो एफएम 99 ने कुछ अरसा कुछ हफ्तों से हमने एक सीरीज ऑफ प्रोग्राम का आगाज किया है और इस प्रोग्राम का इस सेगमेंट का नाम है कोरोना और हमारी जिंदगियां कोरोना का जब वार पूरी दुनिया में शुरू हुआ और इस पैंडेमिक से हम गुजरे तो पाकिस्तान में जब ये पहला केस रिपोर्ट हुआ 2020 में उसके बाद बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो यकदम चेंज हो गई बीट एजुकेशन हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो गया पूरा जो सिस्टम है मुआशी सूरत हाल जो है वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा तब्दीली आई लेकिन सबसे ज़्यादा तब्दीली अगर हम बात करें वो दो सेक्टर्स में तो सबसे ज़्यादा आई एक आई हेल्थ की और दूसरी सबसे बड़ी जो तब्दीली आई वो तालीमी निज़ाम में जो है वो अच्छा खासे चैलेंजेस जो है तालीमी निज़ाम और तालीमी सेक्टर को देखना पड़ा उसी हवाले से प्रोग्राम में आज भी हम बात करेंगे कि पावर FM 99 का एक ऐसा पायनियर प्रोग्राम ब्रॉड क्लास लिसन टू लर्न जो कि साल 2012 से शुरू हो चुका है और अब तक ये पावर 99 का ब्रॉड क्लास पायनियर प्रोग्राम अब तक चल रहा है और इसी की एक कड़ी जो कि कोरोना में शुरू हुई पढ़ाई कोरोना जिसमें वो तमाम बच्चे जो कि स्कूल से बाहर थे स्कूल बंद हो चुके थे एक्सेसिबिलिटी का इशू था अवेलेबिलिटी का स्कूल में मसला था बहुत सारी जगहों पे जो है वो टीचर्स गैर हाजिर थे इन तमाम चीज़ों को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए कोई भी दोस्त जब नहीं था तो रेडियो बना आपका दोस्त और रेडियो के ज़रिए प्रोग्राम रेडियो माई बेस्ट फ्रेंड पढ़ाई कोरोना ब्रॉड क्लास लिसन टू लर्न एक ऐसा एक इंटरवेंशनल प्रोग्राम सामने आया एक ऐसा पायलट प्रोग्राम सामने आया कि जहां पर रेडियो के ज़रिए 2-वे इंटरैक्टिव लर्निंग प्रोग्राम से बच्चों को जो है आरास्ता किया गया और ना सिर्फ पाकिस्तान एबटाबाद विहाड़ी पोठोहार ख़ित्ते में लेकिन पाकिस्तान के बेशतर मुल्क शहरों में भी जो है इस प्रोग्राम को पायलट किया गया इसी हवाले से आज के प्रोग्राम में भी बात करेंगे एंड आई एम सो हैप्पी कि आज के प्रोग्राम में मेरे साथ अमरीकी सफारत खाने से जो है वो एक ख़ास मेहमान मौजूद हैं इनका नाम है डॉक्टर कैली ओटू आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियोज़ में मौजूद है रीजनल इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज ऑफिसर हैं पब्लिक अफेयर्स सेक्शन और एम्बेसी ऑफ यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका हेयर इन इस्लामाबाद आज वो हमारे साथ स्टूडियोज़ में मौजूद है टुडे इन द शो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस विद कैली व्हाट आर द प्रोग्राम्स व्हिच यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका एम्बेसी यूएस एम्बेसी हेयर इन इस्लामाबाद इज रनिंग एंड व्हाट हर ऑफिस इज डूइंग सो आई एम सो हैप्पी टू वेलकम यू इन माय शो हाय कैली गुड इवनिंग
Good evening, Dr. Fahad. It is an honor to be here with you.
All right, same here, likewise. So, Kelly, let's start off with when did you arrive Pakistan and when did you join this office here at the U.S. Embassy, Islamabad?
I arrived last August, and so really I haven't been here very long.
Okay.
But I've got to experience many things so far. I just remember landing in the airport so early in the morning.
Okay.
And realizing I am now in Pakistan.
Wonderful.
And wonderful.
What was that feeling when you landed?
Just so excited and also anticipation because I've never been here before and many new things to experience the food, the culture, the language. Yeah, very excited.
Wonderful. So, Kelly, you are from the Regional English Language Officer Relo program. So can you tell us, not only my listeners, but also our friends who are watching you live on the Facebook as well, what is Relo program?
We have many programs, and so the Regional English Language Office works with both English teachers and English learners.
All right.
And so with English teachers, we offer a lot of professional development to them, and most of it is online, but also some in person. With English learners, we offer many programs to help them with English, and helping them with English, for example, We have our English Access Micro Scholarship Program. This is a program for younger students, 13 to 20 years old, and they get 2 years of English language lessons. But in addition to that, they get a lot of activities that develop their personal confidence, their skills, 21st century skills. They get a lot of enhancement activities that they would never be able to do by themselves. They also get a community of learners together, and that's one of the biggest things about the Access program.
Wonderful.
Yep.
And one of the program which you also are overseeing is a T program.
The T program, yes, Teaching Excellence and Achievement. Right now, we have a group of newer teachers, English teachers, going to the United States on an exchange. And at the same time, we are recruiting teachers who have been at a government or foundation school for at least 2 years teaching English. We are recruiting them for our fall cohorts. And
Wonderful.
So, yes, if they want to apply, they can apply.
This is the right time.
It is, yes. Can I give the web address?
Of course, go ahead.
So tea.org.pk. They can go there and apply online.
Oh, my miss, I wish I had this teaching degree with me. I would have immediately applied right now. तो कितनी मज़े की बात है कि कैली ने हमें बताया कि अगर आप सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ा चुके हैं, पढ़ा रहे हैं और आपको तकरीबन कोई 2 years एक्सपीरियंस, सो आपके पास तकरीबन कोई 2 साल का पढ़ाने का टीचिंग का एक्सपीरियंस है, तो आप टी प्रोग्राम विच इज़ टीचिंग एक्सीलेंस अचीवमेंट प्रोग्राम अमरीकी सफारत खाने की जानब से आपको फॉर हाउ लॉन्ग द टीचर्स आर सपोज्ड टू ट्रैवल टू यूएस?
The teachers go for 6 weeks.
6 week, 6 हफ्तों के लिए जो है वो अमेरिका भेजा जाएगा और इस साल का जो इंडक्शन है वो अगस्त और अक्टूबर तक जो है वो जाने का प्रोग्राम है और अगर आप इस प्रोग्राम में अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं तो ज़रूर एंड ऑल दीज डिटेल्स कैन बी टेकन ऑल्सो ऑब्टेन फ्रॉम द यूएस एम्बेसीज वेबसाइट एज वेल.
Yes, and also our Facebook page, Relo Pakistan, and our partners page. So if they look for the T program, TEA, and Pakistan, it should come up on Google.
Wonderful, wonderful. So why not? इंतज़ार किस बात का? तमाम ही वो हमारे एस्पायरिंग टीचर्स और जो कि पढ़ा चुके हैं, थोड़ा बहुत उनके पास एक्सपीरियंस है. सो इस मौके का ज़रूर फ़ायदा उठाइए क्योंकि अच्छी खासी आपकी प्रोफेशनल एक्सपोजर और डेवलपमेंट होती है. ओके, सो Kellie, coming back to you, the pandemic has changed the overall situation across the globe, not only in the developed countries as well, but also the burden the underdeveloped countries have really shaken badly because the infrastructure, because of the system, because of unavailability of system, things have gone very badly. They have faced the things. So the question which comes in my mind is that how the teaching and education system you see from states to Pakistan has drastically changed during this matter of few years.
It really has, all the way from the beginning. I think at the beginning, everyone was shocked when schools closed and students stayed at home. Many students wanted to continue learning, but how could they do that? And so there were a lot of changes immediately, and that really, we say in English, threw everyone for a loop. And so it did change education. I think the Relo office, we immediately poured a lot of time and attention into training teachers. So teachers who all of a sudden had to train or teach online, distance learning, virtual education, is very different from teaching face-to-face. So face-to-face, especially with English language, I can understand a lot through your emotions if you're speaking English. I can understand through your nonverbal communication and through the English language. But put all that on Zoom, and it's really a big difference. And so teachers really need to, what they had to do was to use a lot of technology, a lot of apps, Zoom, and to use all the tools they could to make their classes still as engaging and motivating as they were before.
So when we are talking about this pandemic affecting the education system and also the Relo program, so how does Relo helps this future? How does Relo is going to help this future of education?
Well, so definitely the teacher training is the first part.
All right,
So
okay.
we're still training teachers. There's so many apps out there, educational technology that teachers can use. But in addition to that, the students have a hard time. The students are used to being in a class and paying attention to the teacher, but on Zoom, that may not happen. Again, because of the digital barrier, it's more difficult to understand English or another language or another subject online. And so students really, they've started to turn to their colleagues, their other students, to learn from them. That's a good thing. So this collaborative learning, teachers who have access to educational apps and use them in their classes, most of them put students together into groups. And through those groups, then the students learn learn together, and they accomplish things together. And that's a big difference in education. So it's not just the student and the teacher anymore, but it's students working with other students, and the teacher is a guide. And so if the teacher is just lecturing to the students on Zoom, then the student really has every opportunity to just space that out and not pay
That's true,
attention.
honestly.
But when the teacher has the students getting together and doing activities that are online and competing, then the students will be engaged, they'll be learning, and then the teacher will be more of a guide in that way.
All right, so since we are talking about teachers, students, classroom, talking about book education, so one thing that comes in my mind is book reading. So what recent American writer you're reading? Are you reading these days, or what was the last book you read?
Well, so in general, I find myself attracted to two genres.
All right.
One is the mystery genre.
Oh, interesting.
So Agatha Christie, then she's not American, but I read her. There's Sherlock Holmes in there.
That was coming in my mind, yeah.
Yeah, I like him too. And then also the humor books. And so Mark Twain, his biography is very funny. Also James Thurber. James Thurber is from the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest.
You are from the Midwest as well.
Yes,
yeah.
and so I understand his type of humor. There's a part in one of his books that I still laugh at every time I read it, and it just makes me laugh out loud. When you're reading a book and you laugh out loud, you know it's very good.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so I find myself attracted to those two types of genres.
Wonderful. All right, so talking about book reading culture or library culture. So what kind of library culture is there back in US? My listeners who are listening to you right now on radio as well, we are live on Facebook as well. So what is library culture? How is library culture back in US?
I remember growing up, and my mother took us to the library all the time. The town I lived in was in Iowa. It
Okay.
had about 500 people,
right.
and so there was no library.
Oh.
There was one church
Okay.
and houses.
Lovely.
And dirt roads all over the place. And so the library would come to us. It was called the Bookmobile.
All right,
And we
all
would
right.
go there, and it
The
had
books on the wheels?
Yes, and so it was a large van filled with books, and both for adults and for children. But I think maybe they put more children's books on there because there were more children checking out books. I remember going in there, and we would spend as much time as we could in the library. We would check out those books, and then the next week when the bookmobile came back, we would return them. In the school I went to, there was also a very large library, and not just a library with books, but a library with spaces for reading.
True.
We called one place the Habitat, and so we would climb ladders to get on different levels, kind of like a cat toy, except it was for humans. And we would grab books and just go up and read them. I remember when I was in 4th grade, that means I was 10 years old, I took out one book for cooking. It was a cookbook for bread, homemade
okay.
bread.
All right.
And I couldn't stir the bread when I put so much flour in, so my mother had to help me. But that was one of my favorite books.
And
the
that
bread,
book helped you a lot.
It did. The bread was just delicious. Yes.
All right. So we are talking about library and book culture. So what about bookstores and libraries here in Pakistan and their role in promoting knowledge and language? Because you are regional English language officer. So far, from last summer you are here. So what do you think, what is the role of libraries and bookstores in Pakistan? Have you been to any bookstore here in Islamabad?
I've been to one,
right.
yes, in F7,
Yeah.
and it was a wonderful experience. And I spent a long time
I
in
know,
there.
yes, yes. Once you go, it's kind of a maze of books.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
and I just spent, just reading the titles and what haven't I read and what am I interested in reading. And I did find some good mysteries that I haven't read yet.
So, but, Kelly, from your experience and expertise, what do you think? How can we bring that era of going to library back to back again in this digital age? Because everything is on the flick of your hand phone. You know.
Yeah, that's a good point, and many people are entertained solely by their phone, and I understand with young people it's even more.
Yeah.
I remember for my daughter when she was born, the library had several programs for her
Right.
at her age. As a baby, I took her in, and we were involved in some programs with music, with singing, with puppets. And so even when she was 4, 5, 6 months old, she would see these things and look. And then when she became 2 and 3 years old, then again, the music and singing and the puppets. And so lots of actions. I would always read to her at home. So we had several books. And when she was like 5 or 6 months, she would chew on those books. But when she got older, then she learned to turn the pages and read. And so I think it was the programs that the library had. Those programs brought us in. And then my daughter found favorite books and favorite series and went back day after day to get the next in the series and the next. And the exciting thing is that someone else is reading the same series, and so you don't get the next book. Then you have to find something else to read until the next one is there. And so that's more and more reading, which is excellent. So today my daughter is a great reader, just like me, and we have a small library at home, but she reads her books over and over and over.
All right, wonderful. Because mobile phone or digital age, cannot take away that essence of reading that book, that love, that passion of reading that book, and also that enjoyment, that affection you develop once you go with every page with whatever the book you are reading. It's amazing. All right. So now let's talk about during this pandemic, Power 99 initiated a program which is Let's Study. In Urdu, we call it Padhai Karona. Right, where schools were shut and due to the accessibility problems and availability problem, there were no teachers, human resource. This was a time when radio came, and through radio, this program started. So what would you like to say about this program, Let's Study, which was also supported as partnered by U.S. Embassy, Islamabad, also this program, Padhai Karona. And how do you see this initiative of Power 99?
No, I think this is wonderful. When the internet came, then I think people thought, well, the internet and that way is the way forward for education. And maybe they forgot about radio, but the pandemic really brought radio back. And so radio reaches places where the internet cannot. And so what Power 99 is doing in collaboration with the U.S. Embassy is very important. Sending radios out to these areas, and these areas use them for the lessons, English lessons
Yes.
and other lessons, but also they use them for entertainment, and
Yes.
they get culture from the radio. And so the radio, just having that is very important. And when you add to that, we had American English language experts working with Pakistani English language experts, working together to create quality lessons for the students from 1st to 5th grade. It's a great program so that students anywhere can continue learning.
Wonderful. And not only this initiative, but through this program and through the radio, we have also gone to the spaces where we have gone to the madaris as well, where students and the kids have their religious studies. Because now, through the single national curriculum, English has become compulsory for every student.
Yes.
Be it wherever the city you are, whether the big town or the rural or urban section you are. And wonderful thing is that from this program, the single national curriculum is being adopted. It is being scripted. It is being written and then narrated. And and you met our team, wonderful team, who are doing this amazing job.
Yes, I did. But I wonder if I can ask you a question,
Go ahead,
Dr.
please.
Fahad.
Yeah.
How did you learn English? Then what was your secret?
Wonderful, wonderful. So basically, I was when I was admitted to a school, got my admission in my early kindergarten school over there because I got admission in an English speaking school where we were learning English, we were learning Urdu, we had different subjects. So from my early days, we started learning English in our school. So here in Pakistan, we have majority of schools, be it public or private. You have different programs, and English is being taught at a very early age. But the question is, the training program for the teachers, because every other day the things are changing, the methodology, the teaching methods are changing. We need to, with the time, we need to adopt different strategies.
Exactly.
So what kind of new methodologies or teacher training strategies you think that Pakistan or the teachers who are here, you have been in contact with so many Pakistani teachers through your program. You yourself are a teacher by profession. So what do you think that what kind of methodologies or strategies it's a time to adopt for teaching in a more appropriate way?
That's a very good question. When we look at the history of, let's say, language teaching, we started out with, let's say, grammar translation. So it was all about reading and writing. And if you could translate, you knew the language. But then we realized that if you could translate and read and write, then that doesn't mean you can speak and listen. And then the pendulum swung the other way. And so then it was all about the listening and the speaking and not the reading and writing. And now we're somewhere in the middle. The wonderful thing is that experts in our field say really it's any methodology that works for you as the teacher and works for the students. And so having the different activities, having different strategies in the classroom helps all learners learn well. And so we don't say really that it's got to be this way or it's got to be that way. What we do say is that a teacher really needs to find the strategy that they want to use. They need to become adept at that. And then in addition, the teacher needs to teach the students to use English to communicate.
Give me a second, I'll take your call live. Please continue, Kellie.
When teachers teach students and when students learn English to communicate, that's the most important.
Wonderful, wonderful. We have a caller as well. Guys, if you want to be part of our show, we have live calls as well. I've just opened the lines. So if you want to be a part of my show, give me a call on 051 111 0099 and we have a caller. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Fahad.
Hi.
And good evening, Kellie.
Good evening.
Hello.
Who is it?
This is Sana.
Hi, Sana. How are you doing today? Please go ahead.
I'm pretty good, and I am really happy for your show that you are doing today, and I'm really happy to learn about all the activities that you have planned and you have executed for the students. And I really appreciate, especially what you did in the pandemic during the COVID period. This is really appreciable, and I really want that more such activities should be executed and planned. And hats off to Power 99. Salute to you guys. You have made it possible. Otherwise, it was not possible.
Oh, thank you very much. That was such a encouraging call. Thank you very much, Sana. Sana from Islamabad was calling. अगर आप भी हमें कॉल करना चाहते हैं, so why not कॉल कीजिए. कैली से कुछ बात करना चाहते हैं. अमेरिका की जो सफारत खाना है इस्लामाबाद में मौजूद US एम्बेसी और उनकी जानिब से कौन कौन से ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स हैं जो कि इस वक्त आ रहे हैं, इनिशिएट हो रहे हैं, बिलखुसूस असातिज़ा के हवाले से, टीचर्स के हवाले से अगर हम बात करें, सो आप उससे मुस्तफ़ीद भी हो सकते हैं. कुछ ऐसे प्रोग्राम्स जो कि आगाज़ में ही कैली ने बताया, लाइक टी प्रोग्राम, लाइक एक्सेस प्रोग्राम, के जहाँ पे टीचर्स आर गिवन दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी के जहाँ पे कल्चरल एक्सचेंज, म्यूचुअल एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम होता है कि पाकिस्तान से कुछ टीचर्स को जो कि ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे पढ़ा रहे हैं उनको अमेरिका भेजा जाता है. वी हैव अनदर कॉलर से बात करेंगे. अस्सलाम वालेकुम. हेलो.
हेलो
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम. कौन बात कर रहे हैं, कहाँ से?
स्पीकिंग.
जी यस प्लीज गो अहेड.
So, Kelly is there, or you wanna say something?
Yes, Kelly is listening to you. Please introduce yourself, please. May I know your good name?
Well, I am Sebaid from Islamabad, just asking about other language program for the children. So, from the U.S. Embassy side.
All right, that's a wonderful question. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Yes, Kelly, going towards you. What are the other language programs? Please go ahead.
So the Access program is not, it's highly competitive. And so let me talk about some of the resources that are free for students and also for teachers, but we'll concentrate on the students now. So at the website, americanenglish.state.gov, we have a lot of resources for students to learn English or continue studying English by themselves. Are you interested in playing some games?
Yes, but
Awesome.
before that, hold that thought. We have a caller as well. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, good evening, Fahad.
Hi, good evening. Who is this?
I'm Aisha.
Yes, Aisha.
Fahad, thank you so much. Today is a lovely program. I love your program, and especially your program, Padhai Karo Na, is such an amazing program. And Fahad, my question is that I am a teacher and I have more than 2 year experience in teaching sector. Okay. I want to apply. What qualification do I need for the teaching TA program? Can you guide me, please?
Sure. Thank you very much, Aisha. Aisha, thank you. Call करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Aisha from Islamabad. Over to you, Kelly.
So, Aisha, thank you for that question. If you go to tea.org.pk, you will find all the requirements that are expected from applicants. And you can also find the application that you can download and fill out and send in by post, or you can send it in online. So, best wishes for that.
All right, Aisha, all the best, girl. All right, so coming back to you, let's play some games. Kelly has brought some wonderful, exciting games, और जो कि हमें Facebook पे भी देख रहे हैं, उनको भी एक idea मिलेगा कि किस तरह की ये games है. All right, Kelly, so I'll give you this opportunity to introduce this game to our viewers and listeners as well.
So, americanenglish.state.gov has many games that are available, and so if you search in that box games, then these will come up. And so for our radio listeners, all you need is a piece of paper and draw boxes. You draw boxes from one side of the paper, the start, and maybe it snakes or winds through the paper and then goes to the other side at the end or the finish. And then in each box you put something. So we're going to play a game right now, and this game is Name Your Favorite. And so that means in each box, you're going to put down a noun or a word that then you can name your favorite. So Dr. Fahad and I will play a little.
All right, I'm excited. Yes, go
All
ahead.
right, so what we need is a stone, a rock, a coin to move all the way through, and then also we need a dice.
All right.
And so let's say I roll the dice. Dr. Fahad, you get 4, so we move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Fahad, can you name your favorite hot drink?
Hot chocolate.
Oh, awesome.
It's just like कि हम लूडो जिस तरीके से खेलते हैं कि we roll the dice और हमारे पास मुख्तलिफ चीज़ें आ जाती हैं, लेकिन लर्निंग के लिए कितनी बेहतरीन ये चीज़ है कि मुख्तलिफ जो हैं वो यहाँ पे सवाल लिखे गए हैं आपकी अपनी नॉलेज और जानने के लिए, आपको और मज़ीद जो है बेहतर जानने के लिए कि कौन कौन सी चीज़ें हैं आप वो लिख लेते हैं इस चार्ट में. कलरफुल बच्चे जो हैं, स्कूल गोइंग बच्चे हैं, बड़े भी खेल सकते हैं और इट्स एन वंडरफुल थिंग जो कि एक बड़ा ही ज़बरदस्त आइडिया जो है वो कैली आज गेम लेकर आई हैं और इसमें आप खेल भी सकते हैं just like we play Ludo. Yes, so now I roll the dice and it comes 6.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dessert.
Yes.
I will name my favorite dessert. It's got to be brownies.
All right.
I
thought being in Pakistan, you will say gulab jamun.
Oh, well, okay, that too. But I think chocolate is the name of the game for both of us.
Wonderful.
So as you can tell, this is an easier use of English, and so it's for those beginner students.
All right. All right.
And then also, what are some favorite? Okay, book, music, hot drink. Film, yes. And so even if you cannot go online and download this already created game, then you could create your own and play together with friends. If you can go online, there's also a template that's empty that then once you're done playing the game, you can fill this in. But let's move to a little more difficult or higher level English game. And we were playing this earlier, and did it go well? So this one is Odd One Out. And I'll begin by saying that each block has 4 words that are somewhat similar, and then it's up to us to decide which one is the odd one out. Every answer is correct. What is incorrect is incorrect logic.
All right.
So I'm going to pick one for you, and let's do then these are the 4 words.
All right.
Traffic light, sidewalk, motorbike, and helmet. Which one is the odd one out, Dr. Fahad?
Traffic lights, motorbike, sidewalk, and helmet. Odd one out. I'll go with helmet this time.
And why?
Because the helmet is the only thing which you wear. Otherwise,
Yes, okay, you cannot wear a motorbike. You
Yes.
don't wear traffic light. You don't wear the sidewalk. So that's a correct answer.
wonderful. So basically, Kellie, the motive of these games, these chart pictorial games, is that the students, the teachers of different grades and different learning capabilities, they start learning the English, right?
Yes, and so as you can see, the first one, name your favorite, is really about one-word answers. My favorite hot drink, tea, coffee, milk, water, Coca-Cola. Oh, I hope not. But then the next one, really, you have to create sentences and logic, and so it's a higher order thinking, which is important for all students to learn, but then it uses more English in order to communicate.
All right,
that.
so talking on the behalf of various teachers who are listening at the moment, how Relo program is benefiting teachers across Pakistan, those who are not from Islamabad or Rawalpindi, somebody from Lahore, from Peshawar, somebody from tribal area or Sindh, Karachi. Yeah, go ahead. How they can, be benefited from the programs or the opportunities Relo is presenting for them.
Yes, we have a lot, and most of it is online. And so the benefit of online is that we can reach wider audiences. The limit is the Wi-Fi connection or the data connection. But let's talk about teachers around Pakistan. There's a good website you can go to. I talked about AmericanEnglish.state.gov, yes. But in addition to that, there's openenglishprograms.org, and this has a lot of MOOCs for teachers. A MOOC is a massive open online course. Massive because it's available for everyone, open because it's free. Okay, online course, that's understandable.
True.
So teachers, if teachers want professional development, they can go on and they can take these series of courses for TESOL methodology. TESOL is teaching English as a second language. There's also assessing students. So how can you assess students in the classroom or online? It's really changed. There's also English, teaching English to young learners.
All right.
And these MOOCs, mostly they're self-paced, but in addition to that, we have a few that are facilitated. That means an English language expert from the United States is helping all the teachers through. And those are English for tourism professionals.
Oh,
tourism,
wonderful.
very important here. And then also English for media literacy for educators.
Wonderful.
So if you take those courses, you can go to openenglishprograms.org and you can find when they open, and you can take them with a facilitator or self-paced.
Wonderful. We have a caller with us. कॉल करने के लिए हमारा नंबर 051-111-009999 पर आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं. एंड हम आज बात कर रहे हैं मिस Kellie Odhuu से. She is Regional English Language Officer here at Embassy of US Embassy in Islamabad. और आज हम बात कर रहे थे कोरोना के टाइम पीरियड में, जब ये बहुत सारी चीज़ें मुश्किलात पूरी दुनिया में सामने आई और तालीम का जो शोबा है वो अच्छा खासा खासा मुतासर हुआ एंड वहाँ पे किस तरीके से पावर 99 का एक ऐसा जो है वो पायनियर प्रोग्राम ब्रॉड क्लास लिसन टू लर्न, जिसमें उसी के ही एक सब सेक्शन का प्रोग्राम पढ़ाई करो ना लेट्स स्टडी का जो है वो हमने मुतारिफ करवाया, जिसमें ना सिर्फ बच्चे वन थिंग कैली आई वुड लव टू मेंशन इट हियर दैट थ्रू पढ़ाई करो ना स्टूडेंट्स हु आर लिसनिंग एंड लर्निंग इन through the radio at their homes, one thing was that this program not only benefited the students but also the parents.
Absolutely.
A lot of real time success stories have come and reached out to us, to our management, to our the think tanks of this program, that parents have also benefited in learning some bits of English which can help them for the grocery, for running errands.
Right.
Because when this program was being broadcasted on radio, children were supervised with their guardians or parents. So those mothers and parents have also started, engaging with the program. We have a caller with us. Let's see. कौन है हमारे साथ? All right, फिर से call कीजिएगा. Call drop हो गई. So we were talking about broadcast listen to learn. और इसी प्रोग्राम के हवाले से आई वुड लव कि हमारे लिसनर्स जो इस वक्त हमें लाइव रेडियो पे सुन रहे हैं वो जरूर सुने.
प्यारे बच्चों, क्या आप स्कूल बंद होने की वजह से पढ़ाई के लिए परेशान हैं? अब आपकी परेशानी हो गई खत्म और आपकी क्लास होगी आपके घर में, क्योंकि पावर 99 आपके लिए लेकर आ रहा है
ब्रॉड क्लास लिसन टू लर्न प्रोग्राम रेडियो माई बेस्ट फ्रेंड.
मिलकर पढ़िए टीचर अमीना.
मेरा नाम अमीना बीबी है. मैं एक स्कूल में पढ़ाती हूँ.
गुल.
दोस्तों मेरा नाम गुल है.
अली.
दोस्तों मैं अली हूँ.
यासिर चाचू.
मेरा नाम यासिर है.
और मिट्ठू से.
मिट्ठू मिट्ठू.
और सीखिए खेल खेल में बहुत कुछ.
तो सुनना मत भूलिए हर पीर से हफ्ता सुबह 10 बजे रेडियो माई बेस्ट फ्रेंड.
Radio My Best Friend airs broadcast every Monday to Saturday every morning. आप इसको सुन भी सकते हैं और उससे मुस्तफ़ीद भी हो सकते हैं. वो तमामी स्टूडेंट्स, वो तमामी बच्चे जो कि घर बैठकर इस प्रोग्राम के थ्रू बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हैं वो लर्न कर सकते हैं. Kellie, you have been here in Pakistan for a short time for now.
Just a few months.
Just a few months. So let's talk about when anybody who comes from states or abroad and visits Pakistan, one thing that comes in mind is the food.
Yes.
So have you I'm sure so far in few months you must have experienced variety of food, Pakistani food, cuisines. So what's your favorite one?
I haven't had any food that I don't appreciate. So all the food is very good, even if
you're generous.
Even if it's very different, it's like, wow, how did they put this dish together? But it's still maybe not delicious, but I appreciate it, and I'm glad I experienced it. But what are the standbys? Samosas are excellent. Chicken korma is wonderful. Aloo gosht is delicious all the time. So what food isn't good? I had a conversation with somebody in the car with me when I was coming here about brains, and I've had brains before but not here, and he told me how to cook them so they're better, and then I'll have to try that.
Are Pakistani people who want to have that desi kind of food, they enjoy eating brains.
Okay.
Brain curry.
Oh yes.
Just imagine.
He said if I put onions and eggs and
tomatoes
and garlic in there, then it makes it much better.
All right, lovely. All right. So have you been to other parts of the region and the country?
I have not. Just Islamabad and Rawalpindi. I did, hiking in Margala Trails. This was wonderful.
Yeah.
I saw monkeys up there. I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah.
So what do we see in the Midwest? We see dogs, cats, and cattle.
Oh, okay.
And so to see monkeys that weren't in a zoo, that was amazing for me. But I hope to travel to other places soon.
And what's your favorite sport, if I ask you? Are you a sporty kind of a girl?
I do appreciate playing sports. I play softball, which is an easier form of baseball. But I enjoy watching the cricket now. The Pakistan Super League is wrapping up, and I can't wait to watch these final games. And so I remember not understanding cricket at all because I didn't grow up with it. And if you try and explain it to someone it's difficult. I remember going to online and trying to find the rules and still not understanding the game. But when I watched the first game from start to finish, I understood so much more. And yes, I love watching cricket.
All right, caller भी है हमारे साथ. Let's talk to the caller. Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Walaikum assalam.
जी कौन बात करें कहाँ से?
I am Maham from Rawalpindi.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम माहम, कैसी हैं? How are you?
I am fine. How are you, Fahad?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक. I'm very good. Please go ahead.
So, hello, Kellie.
Hello, good to see you. Meet you.
Hello, I appreciate your efforts, Kellie.
Wow, she appreciates your efforts.
Excellent.
And Fahad program is very good.
Oh,
I
thank
am
you,
a regular listener.
Oh, thank you, Maham. Thank you very much. आप कहाँ से call कर रही हैं Maham? Where are you calling?
Rawalpindi.
Rawalpindi, lovely. So we just mentioned Pindi, and we have a caller from Pindi. Maham, कोई सवाल Kellie से? You have any question? You want to ask anything? Any information you want?
No, just I like your program. So therefore I call you.
And what do you do? अब क्या करते हो?
I am a student.
Student, wonderful. So आगे जाके, do you want to be a teacher? You want to teach students?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Then we have so many opportunities for you.
And do you want to teach English?
Do you want to teach English, Maham?
No, I am a mass comm student.
Okay, mass communication. So she wants to
Excellent.
go and excel in the media sciences. Thank you very much. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया माहम कॉल करने के लिए. आप भी हमें कॉल कर सकते हैं on 051-111-009999. Miss Kellie Odhuu आज हमारे साथ US Embassy से मौजूद हैं और she is Regional English Language Officer और Relo के जो मुख्तलिफ प्रोग्राम्स हैं for the teachers and students जो कि इनको बाहर अमेरिका की जानिब भेजते हैं कुछ अरसे के लिए ताकि वहाँ वो एक्सपोजर हासिल करें, उनकी प्रोफेशनल ग्रूमिंग और डेवलपमेंट हो मुख्तलिफ फील्ड्स में in the terms of English language, in the terms of teaching. बहुत सारे opportunities जो हैं वो इन तक पहुँच रही है. Kellie, I'm sure your engagement with the teachers. So how do you find the teachers here in Pakistan? What's your experience so far?
Let me talk about my experience that I had with Pakistani teachers
Go ahead.
in the United States 10 years ago.
Wow, 10 years ago.
And so they came on an exchange program, and it was two teachers from many countries. So it was maybe about 25 to 30 teachers together. And the Pakistani teachers were the most engaging, were the most excited, the most energetic. And it's like, wow, I wonder if I will ever work with them. But I served in Beijing, I've served in Tallinn, Estonia, but now I'm here in Pakistan working with these teachers, and I find them still very engaging, very motivating, hardworking, especially when they had to transfer all of their teaching skills from face-to-face to online, which is not very easy, but they took training, they taught themselves, and they learned from others. They shared information, and the lessons that they come up with online are just amazing. And so they're a great group. If I could just put them all together, the contacts, the teachers we work with are excellent.
All right, Kellie, we are heading towards the wrapping up of this segment. Before we wrap up, we have been talking on the Relo program, how the pandemic has affected the education program back in the US, here in Pakistan also, a pilot program, Padhai Karona, Let's Study as well. So, what do you think, what might the future of education look like during these times or in the coming days and coming future?
I wonder, my opinion is that when we all get back to the classroom and it's normal, I'm thinking that some teachers will try to go back to what they did before. But the students who have really seen an explosion in new strategies, new methodology, they won't allow that to happen. And so I think with students, they will continue to work together to learn. So this collaborative learning, they will continue to use the teacher as a guide. And in that way, then really the center of the classroom is not the teacher anymore, but it's the student. And so I really think that education will benefit students in the future much more than it has in the past.
We have been talking about learning methodologies. So what do you think, Kellie, what is best way to learn?
Why don't I turn that question around and ask you, what is the best way you learn?
You can learn through reading, you can learn through activity, you can learn through play. What do you think?
Well, what's the last thing that you learned?
I think just, in fact, today I was going through some papers while I was preparing for this interview and this program. I learned that how Relo office is working and how Relo program is benefiting different teachers across Pakistan.
Through your own research.
Yes.
So that's very important. Students now have a lot of technology skills that they may not have had before. And so, yes, learning through research is very important and
True.
one way. Reading is another way. I learned a lot today just by talking to someone. And I would ask them questions and they would give me the answers. Wow, I didn't know that. That
True.
really helps me understand a lot more. And so what is the best way to learn? I believe that learning is much more collaborative now.
True.
So these communities of practice, teachers getting together, sharing information, students getting together, playing games, sharing information also. I think that is the best way to learn.
Wonderful. In last, I would like, and I'll take this opportunity to request you for your last message for the viewers who are watching you on our Facebook page, later on the YouTube, and those who have been listening, those who have thirst of, teaching, they want to become future teachers, they want to learn something more, they are book lovers. Go ahead. This is your
All
camera.
right. Thank you, Dr. Fahad. What I want to say is that teachers, we are teachers because we have to. And what does that mean? That means we care about our students, we care about our communities, and we care about making education and making students better. And so teachers, when you get frustrated with your students, when you get frustrated with online education, when you get frustrated of anything, remember that the end result really doesn't come for another 10 years or 20 years when your students become leaders in the community, become leaders of companies, become leaders of countries, and there your reward is. And so be patient with yourself, especially now. We've been through the pandemic for 2 years, and I don't think it's over yet. But be patient with yourself, be patient with your students, and get together with the community. And through the community, then you can really help yourself stay mentally healthy, and you can have a work-life balance that way.
That was wonderful. Kellie, thank you very much for being part of my show, for being part of this program, and being part of our station Power 99. I was so glad. It was wonderful having you in the studios today.
Thank you, Dr. Fahad.
I hope you enjoyed.
I absolutely did. This has been great.
Alright, thank you very much. Kellie थी हमारे साथ आज US एम्बेसी इस्लामाबाद से, और आज हमने बात की मुख्तलिफ प्रोग्राम्स के हवाले से. रीजनल इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज ऑफिसर हैं और किस तरीके से इनका प्रोग्राम, इनका इदारा, इनका डिपार्टमेंट जो है वो मुख्तलिफ असातिज़ा को फैसिलिटेट कर रहा है थ्रू डिफरेंट म्यूचुअल प्रोग्राम्स. और इसमें हमने बात की पावर 99 के एक फ्लैगशिप प्रोग्राम ब्रॉड क्लास लिसन टू लर्न, जो कि साल 2012 से ही रेडियो के थ्रू मुख्तलिफ स्कूल, मुख्तलिफ गाँव और कस्बों तक पहुँच रहा है थ्रू इट्स आउटरीच प्रोग्राम्स, जहाँ पर बच्चों को जिनको तालीम का जेवर से जो है वो आरास्ता कर रहा है, मैसर कर रहा है मुख्तलिफ जगहों में अक्रॉस पाकिस्तान. उस हवाले से भी हमने बात की. और हमने बात की ब्रॉड क्लास लिसन टू लर्न ही का एक चैप्टर, पढ़ाई कोरोना के, जब पढ़ाई रुक गई थी कोरोना के टाइम पीरियड में, रेडियो बना आपका बेस्ट फ्रेंड और रेडियो ने दिया आपका साथ स्टूडेंट्स का साथ. यहाँ पे हम अपने सेगमेंट को रैप अप करते हैं. कैली का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. थैंक यू वेरी मच कैली, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका. Have you learned any English? Learning is a process and every day you learn something. Did you learn any Urdu so far?
Shukriya.
Thank you very much. यहाँ पे लेंगे कमर्शियल ब्रेक और ब्रेक के बाद पावर ड्राइव टाइम कंटिन्यू रहेगा. Thank you very much for staying with us.